And if you can't tell, I'm in a different place now. So it reminded me a lot of home. Hi, welcome to the podcast. I'm Joycelyn, your player one, and today, Indie House, we've got Soul Delivery by SingleMindedRyan. It's a 2D platformer adventure game, and a short premise of the game is you wake up as a work unit robot in Neon City without knowing who you are and what's going on. You're assigned a mission right away, delivering an anonymous package to a mysterious robot. As you venture out into the night, the story about humans and AI behind the world starts to unfold. And the game is a medium price, and the demo is available on itch.io for Windows and Mac. And it's also on Steam just for Windows right now. And the game is currently 60% finished, but there is no date of release right now. You can follow the game on Steam to get updates about when it will be released. The game took me about 45 minutes to complete. It's very easy, it has very simple mechanics, very simple premise. Uh, the gameplay mechanics very, very easy to understand. It's just moving around, jumping around, because it's a platformer. It's mostly running around the city to find all the different things that the different characters need you to get so that they can help you. And it reminded me a lot of like Pop Tropica games, specifically like the Diary of a Wimpy Kid one. I know I played that a lot when I was younger. It reminded me a lot of that. The visuals are super cool. I also really enjoyed the cutscenes. There were a few of them. The vibe of the game is like kind of cyberpunkish, really techy, um, and it's a small city. So you run around the city and you see all the different parts of it, and you can tell that they're like different from each other because there's signs, and also there's different names for the different parts of the city. My favorite part of the city was probably Chinatown. I just really enjoyed the colors that was in that part. I really enjoyed looking at all of the graphics. I unfortunately had to turn mine down. The game actually doesn't let you turn your graphics too high for you to play the game so that it runs smoothly. So I was able to see it in the beginning, but then I had to quit out and turn down my graphics. The music in the game was very cool. I liked it a lot. I like the lo-fi kind of chill vibe of the music. But at some points in the game, like when the mob boss was about to kill me or uh, bigger robots were there, it kind of felt like it didn't fit the vibe of the game anymore because it was more of a tense moment, and suddenly the music was just like chill, laid back, and it didn't really make that much sense. I kind of wish there were more changes in the music to fit like the different parts of the game, because most of it fits because most of the game is you running around in the city, and the music definitely fits the vibe of the city, but it doesn't really fit the vibe of the different things that happen to your character. The writing in the story was very, very interesting because there's a pretty extensive story. It's very story based game, and you learn a lot about your character and the other characters as you play because you have to talk to all the other characters. Your character actually in this game doesn't remember anything about themselves, so you are learning about yourself as you learn about other characters, which I thought was really cool. Um, you have to talk to pretty much every character to finish the demo. Just another note to keep in mind is that SingleMindedRyan, the creator of the game, says that English isn't his first language. So some of the dialogue I noticed was pretty awkward, but since it's not his first language, that makes sense. And since it's just the demo and the game is still being worked on, I'm sure it'll be fixed in the future. I think that if as long as there is someone to go through and edit the dialogue and the writing, because pretty much all of this game is dialogue and writing. You're just reading what the characters are saying to you and then going to find what they're asking you for. So I'm pretty sure that once the dialogue is edited, it will be better. Sometimes the talking in the game got a little bit tedious and I wanted to like get out of the situation and stop talking to characters, but I couldn't because that's not part of the game. Like, there's no way to exit a conversation. It felt like maybe it was meant to be a joke that some of the characters talked a lot and didn't really say much, like actual information that was important, but it was pretty annoying to me. Uh, like, after the first few characters that did the same thing, I feel like if it was meant to be a joke, then it should have been like one or two characters that did that, like two at the most, you know? Um, but it was a lot of the characters that just said nonsense and it didn't really add anything except you were learning about them, but like I didn't really care that much about them. I kind of wanted to finish the game. So it was kind of annoying to me that I couldn't get out of the conversation and also I had to listen to the characters ramble. Also, there is no voice acting, which isn't a problem, but like when the characters are rambling on, it was kind of stale to just have to sit and read everything that they're saying. And especially when it didn't relate to what I was trying to do and I couldn't get out of it. There are a lot of characters, and I felt like some of them were supposed to be funny, but I also couldn't really tell what was jokes and what wasn't jokes. I was more so focused on delivering the package. I didn't really care that much about the jokes. If you like funny games, I guess this can be funny. I didn't really find it that funny, but I can see that there were like jokes in there. But I was like really focused on getting the package to where it needed to go and finishing the game. So I didn't really pay that much attention to the jokes, honestly. My favorite part of the game is definitely the music, specifically when you're walking around in the city, because it just goes so well with the visuals and the graphics of the city itself, and like the vibe of the city and the music combined work really well. And my least favorite part probably is all of the unnecessary dialogue. As you can probably already tell, I wrote like the most about that. I wanted to skip through a lot of it and I couldn't. Um, Also, another thing I would have changed about the game is like that you can't really go back and have characters repeat themselves, like ask them like, "Hey, what did you say before?" or something like that, so you could get the instructions that they gave you again, because I forgot some of the things that I was supposed to be doing because there were just so many things I was doing at once, and it was very hard for me to do it, like to find the things that they wanted me to get. So I ended up talking to every single character and just clicking random buttons and trying to find things. And that added to my frustration when I was trying to skip through dialogue. Because the only thing you can do to skip through the dialogue is like press enter over and over again. But other than that, I really did enjoy this game. I liked playing it, and I probably will try and play the full game when it comes out. I followed the game on Steam, so I'm not sure when it'll come out, but I followed it, so I should find out. I also did want to mention that the game is a very colorful game. A lot of the city reminded me of like, I don't know, it reminded me, it was raining most of the time, so it reminded me a lot of like San Francisco, like where I'm from. And if you can't tell, I'm in a different place now. So it reminded me a lot of home, uh, and the city was very nice. Moving on to the recommendation, I think this is a very cool game. I would definitely recommend it if you like adventure games and 2D animation. I personally, like I've said before in the past, don't really enjoy 2D animation that much. It just in general, it's not my thing. But if you do, it's a very good 2D animation game. The animation is very good. I do recommend having a computer that is built for running games, because the graphics in this game are very, very strong, and I think if I had a better computer, I would have enjoyed it more than I did. And that's already saying a lot, because I really did enjoy the graphics and I enjoyed the game. But such a big emphasis is put onto the graphics in this game, and like the vibe of the game, that I kind of wish I had a better computer so that I could run this game um, on higher graphic settings. Um, it works on MacBooks, which is what I have, but I do recommend playing it on a better computer. And I would, like I said, I recommend this game. I think the rating that I would give it is a 7 out of 10 tokens. So for Soul Delivery by SingleMindedRyan, I'd give it a 7 out of 10 tokens. Great job, SingleMindedRyan. Thank you guys for joining me on this episode of Indie House. Be sure to rate the episode and let me know your thoughts. I've got a Discord server called Indie House Official, which would be a great place for you to give your feedback and talk to us, our collaborators, or other listeners of the show. If you got any indie game suggestions, feel free to comment below or hit us up on Indie House Pod on Twitter or Instagram and using the hashtag IndieHouseGaming. Catch us next week on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts and Google Podcasts. Also, I did want to mention that since this is my first episode alone, I know it might sound a little bit awkward. I'm still getting kind of moved in. I'm still getting used to living in a new place also. So just stick with it, and I'm sure it'll be great. It'll work out. We have a lot of collaborations lined up for the future, and I'm really excited. So thank you for listening to Indie House. See y'all on the next level. Bye!